Okay, so you guys don't really know who I am. I've never ever made a video, live to explain or express how I feel. Here's the problem. As you can see in the background, this is Minneapolis because this is where I live. And out my window is actually Minneapolis. So I understand. And as you can clearly see, I'm as black as a black man could be. So here is where I have the problem. I just, witnessed the death of George Floyd. And I certainly understand all the frustration and all of the rhetoric even behind it at this point. I understand our governor. I understand our mayor. I understand the police, the chief having to do what he needed to do to try to quell the situation. But here's my problem: the looting and the violence and all of the other things that are going on um, are distracting away from the true nature of why the protests were beginning. Anyway, I mean, for black people, we've been persecuted since literally the dawn of time. So this is nothing new for us. But since we try to peacefully protest, there seems to always be someone or something to get in the way to make this harder than it has to be. So here's what I suggest. I suggest that we follow the rules of our curfews, and clearly we need to uh, be off the streets about 8 o'clock. So that's where I am with this. If you are a peaceful protester, by all means, be home before 8 o'clock, because the only people that are left are the ones that are there for total destruction. And we can't really have that, because that only demonstrates that we are not capable of, being a community. But we are a community. We understand, what we're going through right now. We're grieving and all of this. But here's the other thing. I thought this would be a good idea to bring up the attorney Barr, the Attorney General William Barr. So he came on and he made his little speech, and I thought it was cool. But what he actually said by the time he finished was that this whole thing was done by the left. Oh, and leftist. So again, yes, when you think you understand, but you know better. It's like violent killings. You think once we do our protests, someone will hear us, and, we know it's not going to go away, but at least be listened to and be try to be defended somehow. But to hear the Attorney General blame the left, we're the ones with nothing. Why are we going to destroy our own neighborhoods? He has no proof that it's leftist anything. He didn't provide any proof. He just said what he said and just put it out there in the ether for anyone to just go and listen to it and go, oh, well, let's just blame the left. And then that encourages a little bit more violence if you think about it. Because who else is he going to blame? The right? Nah, let's don't do that. Let's don't go there with anything. Like, is it a leftist that killed George Floyd? Was that a leftist police officer? Or was he just a violent guy? Was he a conservative? Was he a right winger? No, he was a guy that killed a black guy. Now, I don't care if he was Mexican or green, but what I'm saying is, if you're going to put something out there in the ether, have something to back it up, because this is what the left is always pissed at. That you just say something and then the conservatives just kind of go with it because, I don't know, where are their values? I mean, can't they see that this has got to be something wrong? You can't just say stuff out there and then don't back it up with anything. You say we're investigating to find out what's wrong, and then You leave it at that until you have facts. Now, for the U.S. Attorney General, without having any actual facts, what was the point of even saying that? Yes, leftist. You can tell that he doesn't like the Democrats. That's basically it. Anyone, Democrat, would you make you think democracy? I don't know what Republican. I don't know what that. What is that? I know what conservatism is. But again, just to say and just put it out there in the ether, it's wrong on all levels. So all I'm saying is if you're going to say something, at least have something to back it up when you do say it. So let's just find the truth. We can see what happened. And if you don't condone what happened, then you need to think about where you are in your life. Because none of us, you, me, or anyone else, got to choose their parents. That's not an option before birth. We don't get to choose our parents. We don't get to choose our names. All of that was given to us. So we have to live with it the best that we can. So I hope if you don't get anything else out of this video, that I've never, ever done anything like this before. This is not pre-prepared speech. This is just me saying, in the end, a guy has been killed unjustly once again. That guy just happens to be black. There you go, right there. So, and it was done by a white guy. And there were 2 other white guys holding him down that you didn't see on the first video, but please find the second video and see that. This is the part that we're enraged about. That they knew. And then when the riot started, everyone was upset. So if the cops don't play by the rules and the rioters, those people are coming from somewhere else, and sure, there's probably some of us mixed in there too. And I mean that there is this, it's mostly young and crazy, but still, that's their only outlet, to get out there and be mad and pissed and all of that. But again, just to have our top attorney come on and say, hey, it's all leftist, puts it right back out there for all of the conservatives and all the other Republicans to just say that, oh, well, the Democrats are all pissed off. These are all poor black people. They ain't got nothing else to live for. So they're just going to go out and destroy everything that they can. But let me tell you that is not the whole issue. And if you find out that these people are coming from other states in here to mix it up, well, there you go. So get the facts first and then report it. The original fact was on video, which is why it happened that quickly. Because if you don't see it, you won't believe it. If you just hear about it, you can make out of it whatever you like. But until you see the event, like we did, watched him die a slow death, and no one's going to go push the cop off, because what do you think's going to happen? There are just black people standing around there trying to defend him. And the only way that we could do that is to videotape it and watch him die. Cannot even help him without getting shot ourselves or with a knee on our neck, because our lives mean absolutely nothing. Nothing to the people in power. But the important thing to take from here, other than what I asked you earlier, is that God will take care of it. If you think that what you're doing is righteous by not doing anything, when you know you have the power, then you will pay for it in the end. If you believe in a God, you'll pay for it in the end. And we all will. And I hope that if that's what you believe is right, it's right. Because if it's not, that's going to be a special place for any of us that don't believe. So that's all I got to say for now. Take care of yourselves.